Good morning America, today the 12th of January 2026 news. Tensions between the White House and Federal Reserve escalated after Chair Jerome Powell said the administration threatened criminal indictment over Fed headquarters renovations, calling it a pretext to force rate cuts, sending the dollar lower, stocks down, and treasuries higher. Gold surged past $4,600 an ounce for the first time as investors sought safe havens amid geopolitical tensions and a criminal probe involving Fed Chair Jerome Powell. Spot gold rose 1.3% to $4,566.80 after touching a record $4,600.33. Trump administration intensified pressure on the Federal Reserve, threatening to indict Chair Jerome Powell over renovation testimony. Powell called it a pretext to force rate cuts. Republican Senator Thom Tillis warned it undermines Justice Department independence and opposed nominees' plans. The dollar weakened and U.S. stock futures fell after Fed Chair Jerome Powell said the Trump administration threatened a criminal indictment, raising concerns over central bank independence. S&P 500 futures dropped 0.5%, European futures dipped, and the dollar slid against yen and euro. The U.S. dollar suffered its biggest fall in 3 weeks after prosecutors opened a criminal probe into Fed Chair Jerome Powell. The dollar index slipped 0.2%, while gold surged to a record $4,600 as investors feared threats to Fed independence. Oil prices edged up as protests in Iran raised supply concerns, though gains were capped by potential Venezuelan exports and expectations of oversupply. Brent rose to $63.39 a barrel, while US WTI climbed to $59.16. The Trump administration threatened criminal charges against Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell over cost overruns in the Fed headquarters renovation. The issue has become a new pressure tactic by Trump, who wants the central bank to sharply cut interest rates. Major oil companies cautioned Trump's Venezuela investment plans, citing security, legal and commercial hurdles to reviving the oil sector. Though a White House meeting projected urgency after Maduro's ouster, executives stressed realism despite publicly praising Trump's leadership. Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni, 81, is likely to secure a 7th term in Thursday's election despite a violent campaign and succession uncertainties. He claims another term will safeguard Uganda's peace and stability, facing 7 challengers after 4 decades in power. Hong Kong's High Court began hearing pro-democracy tycoon Jimmy Lai's mitigation plea, the final step before sentencing in a landmark national security trial. Lai, 78, was found guilty of conspiring with foreign forces and publishing seditious material last month.